Hey, y'all. What's going on?
How's everybody today? What it do, ladies and gentlemen? What it do? It's your boy. It's your boy, SBK, coming to you live and direct. Shout out to King Ernest. We got that from King Ernest. Shout out to King Ernest. What up, what up, what up? Come on in.
But y'all hit the like button, man. Y'all hit the like button.
Y'all come on in and holler at your boy, man. I just want to say hi to my peeps. What's up to my peeps? You know what I mean? And we're going to have some fun, you know what I mean? We always have fun. Shout out to everybody. Come on in, the bar's open, man. Come on in, ladies and gentlemen. What it do? do? It's your boy, SBK in the building. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to everybody. Salute to everybody. Salute to everybody. Salute to everybody. Happy Sunday. We doing this thing on Sunday. Y'all hit the like button as you come on in. The link is pinned, but before I y'all can come on up anytime you want to. But I want to, let me turn this music down just a tad, ladies and gentlemen. But I am so happy to be here with you guys. Thank you guys for coming through. We got a couple of topics we want to talk about tonight. I'm eager to hear everyone's opinion. Man, shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to everybody for coming through, man. And kicking it with your boy. Shout out to everybody, man. Kicking it with your boy. Man, shout out to all of y'all. Shout out to all of y'all. Shout out to all of y'all. I have home training, so I'm going to speak to everyone that is in the chat, and I am grateful for you guys. We got an exciting topic to talk about tonight. Before I start salute the chat, this is what we're going to be talking about, ladies and gentlemen. What's really going on? You have some lovely individuals up there, Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein, the Trumps, and you got myself just looking at the whole shebang there. What is really going on? What's really going on? From Trump, the Epstein files, the war. What's going on right now? Somebody tell me what is going on. Can somebody tell me? Please tell me. So, anyways, man, I am going to speak. I'm going to speak to everyone, ladies and gentlemen, man. And first, we got the bro, Kevin Corcoran, one of my day ones, the attorney in the clique. Shout out to Kevin. Shout out to you. Shout out to Bron. Salute to you, bro. Good to see you, fam. Good to see you. Hey, love. How you doing? She's dropping off her light and back to finish a meal prep. Meal prep. That's an inside joke between her and the bestie. They're always getting on to me about meal prepping. I hate meal prepping, but shout out to Geezer. Shout out. Bronze again. We got the lovely, beautiful Who Dat is in the house. Hey, Who Dat, how you doing, love? Good to see you. And you heard the bestie, Thrive and Glow with Joe. The lovely bestie says like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. The lovely Lisa J. Stocks, how are you, love? Great live you just had a while ago. Great live. Y'all go and sub up to Lisa J. Stocks. Sub up. My little bro, B-Rob, a.k.a. Super Twister. Shout out to you, bro. Good to see you tonight. Good to see you. Good to see you. And let's see. Am I missing anyone? Miss Wanda is in the house. Shout out to Miss Wanda. Y'all go sub up to Miss Wanda. I'm so proud of that young lady there. Doing a wonderful job. My bro, Black P Stone, what's going on, brother? Good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you for coming through. Speak, what's going on, bro? Good to see you. Speak is in the house. Shout out to you. The Bay Area baby's in the house. Hey, DR, how you doing, love? Pink Lady 007. Shout out to you, Pink Lady. Thank you for coming on through. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Miss Candy Cane Lane. Great live you had yesterday, love. Great live. Shout out to Candy Cane Lane, another great content creator. Y'all go and sub up to her. Some of the things that she was talking about last night, and she had a fiery panel. Some of the things she was talking about last night, I will touch on, but in a different way, because I want you guys' opinion about a lot of stuff. All right. So I want you guys to do me a favor. All right. I want you guys to hit the like button. Seriously, hit the like button And when you get a chance, like, share, and subscribe. I know you hear a lot of content creators say, hey, hit the like button, hit the like button. But really, when you hit that like button, that lets everybody know about what we're talking about. We can bring in more people. We can get more traction here. We always have fun on the SBK channel, having some great dialogue, having some great opinions from different people from all aspects of life. And so when you hit that like button, what you're doing is, we're bringing in eyes to the channel. We want to have fun here. I'm bringing in something here at this channel that is different, and that is something that I want people to come away from saying, hey, my voice really does matter. My voice does belong in SBK's conversation whenever he goes live. And I want you guys to understand that. So y'all hit that like button. The link is pinned. I'm going to be bringing some people up. Whenever y'all come through, I would really like your opinion as I bring things up. And so let's do the damn thing, man. Let's do the damn thing. You hear? Let's do the damn thing. All right, let's get into it. Get into it. My bro, 2 Cent Gorilla, is in the house. Shout out to my little bro. That's family right there. Shout out to my little bro, 2 Cent. Lisa, thank you so much for the $1.99 donation. All donations are much appreciated. I appreciate your donation. Somebody came in and I missed him. I thought it was just 2. Oh yeah, Robert Edwards, thank you so much. That like button for us gay black guys. Well, hey, you're welcome too. You're welcome too. I don't discriminate. Hit that like button too. Hit that like button too. The Queen, I said what I said, is in the house. Shout out to the Queen. I said great live with Herb Minion and Miss Foxy 2 Roxy, the Off the Record crew. They hit on some things that I'm touching on, but I'm going to bring a different touch to it. You know what I mean? So shout out to the Queen. Y'all go sub up. What's that? Miss Wanda. Miss Wanda says, SBK, after the live, can you post Candy Cane's link so I can find her? Candy Cane has a wrench. So Candy Cane, post your link. All of you content creators, I said all of you guys that have wrenches, you guys put each other's links in the chat. Follow each other. That's what we're here for. That's what I'm here for. You know what I mean? I want us all to grow. I want us all to win. I want us all to learn from each other. I want this, community we have here, having some intellectual, and not just intellectual, but some thought-provoking content. You know what I mean? That's what it's all about. And all of you guys are welcome to put your links in the chat if you have a wrench. So if you have a wrench, put each other's links in the chat. All right. So with that being said, I want to say again, thank you for coming through. All right. Now, we had some major storms here. How you doing, Marty? How you doing? Thank you for coming through. Thank you for coming through. We've had some major thunderstorms here in Texas here, East Texas, and in the Dallas area. And I want you to listen to me. I'm headed somewhere. And major thunderstorms, and you hear the sirens. And as a kid growing up, and you hear those sirens like that, it makes you wonder, what's really going on. So can you imagine sirens and stuff like that going off in the Middle East, Iran? We're in war, but we're going to get to that in a minute. But we're living in some very, very crazy times. And like I said, Friday night, all right? Like I said, Friday night, family, if you voted, if you are a voter, all right, I want you guys to listen to me very carefully. If you are a voter, the time of accountability is upon us. All right. Accountability. I used that word Friday night. I'm going to keep on using it. Accountability. Accountability is important. Remember that word, accountability. I've used it often. I've made videos about it. I've made lives about it. But when it comes to politics and the political climate, and whether you want to talk about it or not, accountability is the word of the season, word of the year, however you want to say it. Accountability, ladies and gentlemen, accountability. We all have to give an account for the actions that we portray, the actions that we say, the actions that we do. We all do. So I want you guys to keep that in mind. Accountability. When we're talking about, we're gonna talk about my neck of the woods first, here in Texas. We're talking about voter suppression. We're talking about the Epstein files. When we're talking about the war in Iran right now, right? Accountability is where it's at. Accountability is where it's at, ladies and gentlemen. Lou Jenkins, what's going on, bro? Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Did I miss anybody else? I already said Marty McFlizzle. Thank you for coming through. Thank you for coming through. Stash Cash, what's going on, little bro? Y'all go sub up to my bro, Stash Cash. I'm gonna give you a wrench, bro. But I'm up here cooking. So shout out to my bro Stash Cash. If y'all, he was up on the panel last week. We had a great panel last week. Great discussion. We're going to have a great discussion tonight. But accountability, ladies and gentlemen, accountability. All right. So I know several of you guys, y'all live in my state, in the state of Texas. I want to say I'm disappointed in things when it comes to the way people portray things in the media, the way people are portrayed in the media. I'm very, very, very disappointed in the way things are going. You know what I'm saying? Jasmine Crockett ran for the U.S. Senate here in Texas. If you don't know Jasmine Crockett by now, then ladies and gentlemen, you've been living under a rock. Very fiery lady that likes to get in there and scrap with the best of them when it comes, proverbially speaking, when it comes to getting in there and fighting for what she believes in, whether you like it or not. You know what I mean? I've seen a lot of, of course, the white brethren, they push against her on the right, but a lot of, you'd be surprised, a lot of Democrats, a lot of people on the left have pushed against her. You know what I'm saying? You'd be surprised about that. And by the way, the link is pinned, ladies and gentlemen. So we voted for midterms here in Texas. And whether you believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, if you are an African American, or if you claim to be black, or if you claim to be a person of color, our ancestors fought for the right for you to vote, whether you believe that or not, or whether you believe about not voting or not. But I remember talking to my mom, my grandmother. Now, my mother had my brother and I had us at a late age, and she knows she would be like a great grandmother to most of you guys, everybody in the chat. So, and she's passed on. She would tell me about, the things when she grew up as far as voting and black folks trying to have a right to vote and to be equal and so forth and so on. I used to listen to my grandmother talk about, all that type of stuff too. So accountability, ladies and gentlemen, accountability. So I look up and I'm looking at the polls here in Texas, and I talked to a lot of you guys behind the scenes. A lot of you guys are here from Texas again, and I'm looking at the polls going, hey, Jasmine's winning against Tellerico, you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden I wake up the next morning, she loses. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? So my question, ladies and gentlemen, is this. Now, Miss Candy Cane, she spoke about Jasmine Crockett in her live last night. I'm going to play some things, and I want you guys to react to it. I want you guys to, you guys are welcome to come up on the panel. Hey, Sassy, how you doing, love? Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you, sweetheart. Candy Cane Lane spoke about Jasmine Crockett and spoke about how she is perceived, right? And we're going to get into that. And I want to play some things or whatever about that. Here's a question. Here's a question I want you guys to have. There is a poll question in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. And the poll question in the chat, I want you guys to answer it. All right. The poll question says, hey, Shay, how you doing, love? Good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you for coming through. Thank you. The poll question is, do outspoken political styles help or hurt candidates today? We're talking about political styles. The way a politician approaches things. All right. We're going to get into that. And I'm going to play. You guys are welcome to come up. The link is pinned. I'm going to play this clip. And I want you guys to look at this as I play it. And I want you guys' opinion. Why is this not popping up? Oh, there we go. I want you guys' opinion. Miss Boogie Down is in the house. How are you, love? Good to see you. Good to see you. Y'all hit the like button. I'm about to play something here. And I want you guys to pay attention to it, all right? Which one do I want to play? I want to play, where are we at? I want you guys' opinion. The link is pinned, and I want you guys to, I can't find that one. Where's it at? When you have, when you think that you have everything lined out, oh, there it is. And here we go. All right, let's go.
You preach about love, but isn't that just too weak for the moment that we're in today?
My faith teaches me that love is the strongest force in the universe. Love is not passive. Love is not neutral. Love is not weak. Sometimes love requires that we stand between the bullies and the bullied. Love sometimes requires that we look evil in the eye and not blink.
Amen. That was James Tallarico. He just beat Jasmine Crockett in the Democratic primary for a Senate seat in the state of Texas. And the real question now remains, does he have what it takes? Does he have the special sauce to flip this Senate seat from red to blue for the first time since the 1980s? Now, let's talk a little bit about the primary race, because I think that it could be a teachable moment. Choose to see it as a teachable moment, because I think that there are people who kind of mistake what it means to fight, right? So for me, being a fighter doesn't mean trashing the other side. It means fighting for what's right. Okay, so just keep that in mind as I present the details of what happened to you. So if nothing else, Tallarico's messaging was more appealing to Texans than Crockett's was, which again, I think could be a teachable moment for Democrats. So Tallarico got about 52% of the vote, whereas Jasmine Crockett received about 46%. Now,
okay, let me stop it right there, ladies and gentlemen. So there's where we, did y'all look at her opening statement there? Her opening statement there was basically without even going into the whole video, ladies and gentlemen, it is Jasmine Crockett's approach. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't like hearing that. I don't like hearing that at all. This young man, Caucasian young man, who, speaking real calm, and he's using the, and I'm by all means, I'm not trying to put down Christianity. That's not the case. But as you guys see in our political climate, a lot of evil people, and I'm not saying that Tallarico's evil or whatnot. That's not what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen. But a lot of people use Christianity, and they have alternative motives, just like in slavery days. You know what I'm saying? The masters they perverted the scriptures to make sure that their point was across. Master, slave. The slave is supposed to listen to the master because the Bible said so, right? So this young man comes across as well-spoken, he's calm, and then you got the big bad Jasmine Crockett, right? You know what I'm saying? And to me, I don't like that. You know what I mean? I don't like that at all, ladies and gentlemen. How you doing? Sonny, how you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for coming through. Thank you for salute to you. Salute. I don't like that. All right. So my question to you, Chad, does approach matter? I want you guys to help me out with this. Let's talk about it. Come on up and let's talk about it. Does approach matter? All right. Or was there, I was listening to Roland Martin. I got his clip pinned up, but I want to, he was talking about how Tallarico had more boots to the ground. He had a strategy, and Roland Martin, I have the clip, but I'm kind of cooking right now because I'm feeling the chat is kind of lit right now. But Roland Martin was basically, if you guys, I'm sure I said what I said, a lot of you guys that keep up with politics and my little bro, Roland Martin broke it down by our state here in Texas of how Tallarico's team had a strategical approach to it, whereas Jasmine Crockett didn't, and her team didn't. All right. Here, where I'm from, here in East Texas, Jasmine was kicking tail and taking names, kicking tail. You know what I mean? But then again, on the flip side, ladies and gentlemen, I hear a lot of voter suppression. All right. So you got several dynamics there. All right. So with that being said, I want to play something else. And like I said, the link is pinned, ladies and gentlemen. The link is pinned. I want to play something else. And I want you guys' opinions. Let's go here.
Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett lost the Texas Senate primary on Tuesday, and I think I know why. This is a candidate that didn't just want to win, wanted to win her way, and I think that ended up being her downfall. Let's take a look at the numbers from Texas last night. Her opponent, State Representative James Tallarico, put up big numbers in traditionally urban liberal areas like Austin, but he also really did well among Hispanic voters in places like Western Texas. This looks more like the coalition that Senator Bernie Sanders put together in the 2020 primary, but it does not do as well among traditional Democratic voters, people who voted for Biden, think like older Black folks. And when I asked Crockett about this, whether she was going to try to take her message all across the Democratic Party, she really didn't have a great answer. Take a look.
There has been some controversy with previous statements where you've said that Latinos seem to have a slave mentality when it comes to supporting anti-immigration Republicans. Would it be easier to win those people over to your side if statements like that hadn't been made?
Yeah, so I think we absolutely will be fine, because here's the thing. When you're running in elections, people love to just like go and cherry pick and not get full context of statements. Number one. Number two, one of the things that I talked about is I'm like, listen, we know that when it came down to Donald Trump was like, oh, they're poisoning the blood, and oh, they're criminals, they're rapists. He said all these things, and it did not impact him. In fact, to the extent that he actually got more support amongst Latinos than any Republican ever has. But the one thing that is impacting him is his policies. And when it comes down to it, I have a very strong record, specifically as a civil rights lawyer. And I've been very clear that for me, as a Black woman, and the lens that I see things, it is in the lens of the Black experience. I see a lot of the same hate that is spewed towards Latinos is hate that historically has been spewed towards African Americans. And so my goal will be to make sure that we understand that there's more that unites us than divides us.
So there you have it. So there's another reasoning. Opinion. So you will. So Maestro, executive producer, you ready to come up? You ready to come up? So the link is pinned, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about this. So I want your opinion. And you notice the sister said her experience as a black woman, she speaks from out of that lens, right? And so with that being said, I got some young lady waiting in the back. Y'all are welcome. The link is pinned, ladies and gentlemen. Your voice belongs in this conversation. Help me to understand why this young lady lost. What's going on, youngin?
Hello.
What's going on? Let me show. She got the SBK.
I'm not showing you my titties. I'm showing you the SBK merch.
Shout out to the SBK merch. And you got the SBK yellow and the SBK bug. That is a beautiful, it looks good on you. I was trying to blow you up, but I couldn't.
Lisa,
I was trying to blow you up.
I was like, okay, I feel like I'm flashing my titties.
Yeah, that looks good. That color looks great on you. I'm trying to blow you up, but StreamYard is tripping, bro. They ain't trying to let me be great. Hold on, let me try something real quick.
Oh, I know. Hold on. There we go.
There you go. We got the SBK merch in the house. It looks great on you. Hey, y'all go and copy some merch from your boy SBK. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I'm trying to take you off now, Joe. I'm trying to take you off.
It likes me. Hello, Derek. Okay.
Okay, there we go. Hold on.
I did want to mention, and I kind of wrote, Miss Boogie Down, you saw me. Yeah. She said, showing them things. I'm trying.
Okay.
So I was writing in the, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, okay, Derek 2603 says Jasmine Crockett lost to white prejudice preferences and the misguided Mexican vote. Black people need to stop throwing darts at self. 93% of the black vote went to Jasmine and only 30% Mexican vote.
So let me mention, and this is what I was touching on in the chat that I wrote. I think, and I think this is I'm only speaking on Texas because y'all know Texas is a red state primarily, has always been, right? And so I think, and I thought about this afterwards because Jasmine's my girl. I'm just saying. Okay? I don't care what y'all think. That's mine. But I think to flip it red, no, to flip it blue from red, right? Because it's primarily red, right? And it's baby steps with a freaking state that has constantly always been red, right? And so I think that's what they used. Tallarico used to be Republican, y'all. He switched.
I looked that up and
he switched
was he Republican?
to Democrat. So my thing is, he used the Republican morality ways or speaking points, and softness, right? And switched people that normally would not have switched. And I think that's what got him. I know, but Jasmine, she tried, in my opinion, she tried using more of Trump because Trump was going at her directly, right? And Trump was, trash talking her directly. So she went after Trump. That I don't think was, it was doing good. Yes, right? It's doing good. But I think honestly, and even speaking to people that I know personally, they did not have faith that she would end up winning because of the red, because of the people. Like, she would not be able to flip enough people to turn it blue. And that's why the people I spoke to went for Tallarico. Didn't even know. I had no idea who this young cat was until that was mentioned to me.
nobody knew who the dude was. It's just like he came out of nowhere. People had to,
that was their problem. You know, it's a Republican state, and he used those, you know, that morality, because that's what they go by. See, here's the thing. They don't go for Trump because they trust Trump or they want Trump. They go for Trump because he's the head of the Republican Party. Period. There's people who will vote whoever is the leader of that party because they are pro-life, right? They're not going to switch to the liberal side. Regardless of who is leading, they're not going to switch. And that's the whole thing. And you know how, and I'm going to say it, you know how the Bible says that I can't quote it, but there's going to be someone that comes and infiltrates and takes over and will, I believe that, you know, that's what's happening. It's like he came and infiltrated the moral side, and they follow him blindly just because he's the head of that side.
Well, here's the thing. I had a video premiere last week, and now she claims that she didn't take AIPAC money, but this dude, he claimed that he doesn't take AIPAC money. But I have something that I want to play, ladies and gentlemen, and I want to show you guys something. I want to say shout out to my girl Tabitha Speaks. If you guys don't follow Tabitha Speaks, you don't know what you're missing. All right, I played her last night on at the Tap In podcast, and somebody like to have a heart attack. So here we go. Y'all see that?
$59,000 from Miriam Adelson, Israeli billionaire Miriam Adelson. The Miriam Adelson that donated hundreds of millions of dollars to Donald Trump. And now this.
Y'all see that?
Somebody get Keith Edwards on the line. Somebody get Rogue DNC on the line. Somebody get Taylor Lorenz, leftist. Somebody drag their ass down to the front, because we need some explanations here. Y'all dragged Jasmine Crockett for taking AIPAC money when she took no AIPAC money. Now I want to hear what you all have got to say about this. And I want y'all to be just as loud with this as you were with Jasmine Crockett. I'll see y'all later.
Shout out to her.
Speak.
There you have it. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I said what I says capitalism, Christianity, and conservatism are their supposedly beliefs. Now look, this dude, I have a clip, and I have time to play it because we're cooking right now. This dude ran off saying he didn't believe in taking money, any type of money from AIPAC or any, political organizations that, like that. And there's proof right there. So is it all about who we like or who we don't like? You know what I mean? What's really going on here? You know what I mean? I'm thinking it's, yes, that's what it seems like to me. You know what I mean? Hey, Miss Boogie Down. What's going on, love? How you doing? Good to see you.
First and foremost, Happy New Year and all that other good stuff, because I haven't been on your panel in a minute.
Yeah.
What's going on? Miss Joe showing them things, shaking them things. I seen you, boo. I seen you. I'm getting ready to go over to the merch store. I want my things to look like that too. I'm headed over there. Headed over there too. I want my things to look like that too. The girls are sitting up, but they were sitting up real good in your sweatshirt. So I'm gonna copy your style. But let's bring it back to a little bit of this political stuff. You know, it's very sad in this country how far we've come, and yet how far behind we really truly are. And it's situations like this that will bring it to full circle for us. So anytime I feel like we start slipping and get too comfortable and get too complacent, this will always remind us that we got to keep fighting the fight. She should not have lost that primary at all. She should not have lost it. But I'm going to tell you why she lost it. It's the same reason why Hillary lost. It's the same reason why Kamala lost. Whether you like to admit it or not, we're not even going to get into the red and the blue yet. We're just going to stick to right now, the beginning of time, man and woman. And at the end of the day, they are never going to accept that a woman, I'm going to start with a woman first, I don't care what color she is, at this given time for this country, hold major seats. Although I voted for Kamala, I did not expect Kamala to win. Although at that time for me, when Hillary versus Barack was running, for me, at that time living in New York, I'll be very honest with y'all, I stood behind Hillary. Now, when Barack won the seat, I stood behind Barack. My reasoning for standing behind Hillary was because I wanted to be honest with myself, and I didn't feel like he had the experience. Not that he didn't deserve this chance, but when they were fighting for that seat, I felt like she had been very instrumental, whether you think it was successful or not, very instrumental in her husband's presidency, not once, but twice. Yeah. And she was very, very well known. She had did a lot of things for women empowerment. And yes, it was a lot of policies that were under his watch that definitely, you know, I don't agree with. And I think it even took a hit for us as minorities, but I'm just going by as a voter at that time. And at that time being in my early 40s, I think when Barack had ran the first time, I still was actually, him and Hillary, I was still in my mid 30s, actually. Take that back, because he got elected in 2008. But nevertheless, and I'm bringing it back to Jasmine, but with Hillary should not have lost that seat back then to Barack. This country overall, whether we want to admit it or not, is run by men. It is a male-dominated world. And yes, women have made great strides. And I hope that we continue to progress and make great strides. But they were so sick of the Bush administration and everything that happened under Bush's watch that I felt like, especially on the DNC side, and hell, as the world, they would rather have seen that Black man run than allow the woman who, to me, was more qualified than him to have had that Democratic seat. And then when the actual election ran, I felt like McCain for them was just too much of an honorable person. I felt like he was a great person, God rest his soul. I felt like he was a great candidate to run. And had he won or Barack won, I felt like the country was in good hands with two good men. But at the end of the day, going back to where it started with that seat, there's no reason why Hillary should have never got that seat. Now we fast forward, Barack has done his 2 terms. And now she runs again for president. And everybody, even at that time, and Donald Trump pulled the same thing this young man just did. He just did the reverse. He was a Democrat, and then he switched to the Republican side. Donald Trump has run trying to get the Democratic seat if I'm not mistaken, it was twice, and was not successful. And then he flipped and turned a Republican, right? But he's still a white man, right? And so now you look at this young man here. So they get their representation, like Joe said, as far as he still got those values and those core views of a Republican, but now he's on the Democratic seat. Mm-hmm. And so what do we want? Do we want this outspoken Black woman that we know we're not going to be able to control? Or do we want one of our own in there that we can still have some leverage? Now, it's not to say that he will be that type of individual, because you don't really know too much about him. And that scares me as well. But they knew enough about her to know that that's not the representation that they want, because there's no reason why she should not have won. Again, I'm going to go, like I said, it has nothing to do, in my opinion, with man versus woman, Black versus white. I'm going by experience. I'm going by what Jasmine Crockett has proven about herself in terms of being a politician. She is about her cause and the people. And if you support her cause, she's going to give you in terms of not necessarily her cause, but I feel like you know what you're getting with her. So it's either going to be a yay or a nay with you, with her. You know what you're getting. You know who she is.
Right. But let me ask you this, Miss Boogie Down and Joe.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all come up on the panel or whatnot. The link is pinned. I want to ask you something because I brought it out. That's the question that I have in the poll question. Do you think that her approach and how she's fiery, and personally, I like that.
No, I do. I love it. But I definitely think it hurt her. I think it hurt her. Of course, because she's showing you right off the back, she's not going to be controlled. She's showing you right off the back, she's not going to be controlled. And in the society that we're in, I know where you're going with it, SBK, so let me cook.
Yeah, go ahead.
She is showing you that regardless, if it's not what she's going to be about, she's not going to be bought. She's not going to allow her views to be tainted based on popularity. She's not going to allow her views to be tainted based on the fact that she's not the cool person in the room. She's going to stick to her guns on what her beliefs are. So even with them saying, oh, she should have tried to appeal more to the Latino side, you already know where this man stands that's running our great nation in the ground. You already know where he stands with it. And so why it doesn't matter for him. And when we get complacent and forget that sometimes we got to play the game a little differently to get the result that we want. And I don't think Jasmine is that type of person. I think that's what hurt her in the long run. Do I disagree with it? No, I think at the end of the day, you got to be who you are, and you gotta be able to look yourself in the mirror. But it's so many of our government parties in here, and it doesn't matter whether you're blue or red. It's so many of our quote unquote leaders that have such compromised souls and integrity. And unfortunately for her, sometimes you got to show a more softer side to be able to get in the room and do what you need to do. And because I respect the fact that at the end of the day, she stands on 10 toes, stands on business about who she is, and she's not willing to compromise that, it cost her in this case here. She needed to be a little bit more laid back. And because she don't need to show them how tough she is, as far as I'm concerned, she's made her point there. But I get the fact that for her, maybe feeling like if she was a little bit softer, or if she, if you will, that if she continuously tried to like lean a little bit off of certain things and not been so aggressive, she probably felt like, then that's not me being real. But it's not about sometimes always just being real and power to the people. Sometimes it's about appealing to the people. You got to appeal to the masses. You got to know your target audience, and you got to know that unfortunately sometimes you do have to do a little shucking and jiving in order just to get what the overall, just don't lose sight of what the view is, and don't lose sight of what the point is. And you can still basically, multiple things can be true and you can still get the end result, but you got to be able to unfortunately play the game, because we're not at the table like we need to be. So if you're trying to get a seat at the table so that you can change certain dynamics, sometimes you got to just lean back a little bit, or you just got to say less and let your actions show. This guy comes off as very mild. Same way JB Vance came off during those, debates with him and, the one that was running with, what I'm talking about. I'm getting like, but right. Yeah. But I'm talking about when he was doing the debate, with, Kamala Harris's,
you talking about dude from Michigan? Yeah.
From Minneapolis. He's from Minneapolis. Right. But, he came across as so docile and so mild-tempered and so cool. And this dude right here is just as dangerous as Trump, if not more, because unlike Trump's dementia having behind, he actually knows what day of the week it is. And so he would be a nightmare if he's our president, because he's more coherent. And he's definitely more diabolical because he has enough sense to know how to play like he's this way, but coming to find out he's devil in sheep clothing. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like, unfortunately for her, this dude here, which nobody seems to know too much about, you're going to find out what his real colors are at this point, because he's already did what the masses needed him to do, which was to knock her out of position for now. He's been able to do that. And so I think, unfortunately for her, I don't know if she could have, if she still would have, been able to win. But I definitely think if she would have did things a little better, she would have had better results. Would it have still gotten her to win? I don't know. I don't know enough about Texas other than like what Joe was saying. I know you guys are a red state. I don't know enough about the political side of it. I know Dallas is predominantly it was at least at one point, I remember, a very blue city. But I know the state as a whole, just like Atlanta here in Georgia, for me, is a very blue, we have a lot of Democrats that hold seats and positions in the city of Atlanta, but the state of Georgia in itself is still very red.
So and that's the whole reason why here in Dallas. So I had people in Dallas so Jasmine tried to extend the voting time. She went to the courts. A judge agreed to extend the voting time for 2 hours. But at the last minute, after the voting, the Supreme Court of Texas knocked it down and said any votes that were done after 7 o'clock, which is the regular time that the polls were supposed to close, all those votes were not accounted for. So the Supreme Court of Texas came back and superseded what that judge voted on. The reason I know personally what was going on, the reason she wanted the vote time to be extended, I literally had people going to the polls the day of. I went in advance, right? I went early voting, but the day of, on that day, when you go the day of, you have to first and foremost, now they changed it, that you have to vote at your exact precinct, right?
Gotcha.
Then the day of voting, it wasn't like early voting. When I early voted, you could go to any terminal to vote. When you showed up, whether you were Democrat or Republican, they'd ask you which one you were, they'd give you that ticket, for the Democrat or the ticket for Republican, and you went to any booth. The day of, they had them separated because claiming that they wanted to make sure there was no cross contamination on votes or whatever. So they had certain booths for Republican side, certain booths for Democrat side. Well, this particular one, my coworker was at, they had 2 booths for the Democrats and they had 5 for Republican. So the Republican line was going fast. The Democrat side, when he went in, there was 5 in front of him. When he was leaving, there was 15 in line, and there was people when his wife went walking out because the line was too long on the Democrat side. And that was the problem she had with, and why she asked for the time to be extended, and the judge agreed with it at first. Because and my coworker asked, why is there more terminals for the Republican side versus the Democrat side? At his personal precinct, the guy working, the guys that were working, giving you the tickets and stuff, they're working the voting booth. His answer was, we asked that question and they told us that this precinct wouldn't have a lot of Democrats to show up anyway. That's the reason they said only 2 terminals were sent for the Democrats and 5 for the Republican side. That's the kind of crap that was going on here in Dallas County. And that was the problem, because they know Dallas County, yes, is predominantly more blue. But as a whole, the state is red. That's what voter suppression is what she was fighting about, personally, here in Dallas. Hey,
hey, ladies. Hey, SBK.
Hey, what's going on, Queen?
What's up, Business?
Hey. So both of you guys had valid points, and I agree with them. The reason why Jasmine lost is because the race was Jasmine's to lose. I'm for Jasmine. I love Jasmine Crockett. I really wish she would have won, but Jasmine didn't do her homework. She didn't run her campaign the way she should have ran it. She took for granted that social media was going to help her get elected, in my opinion. If you looked around the state and just looked around your town, she didn't even have a lot of yard signs in people's front yard. Matter of factly, my hometown didn't even get Jasmine Crockett signs until I think Monday, the day before the election. And we have different places strategically around town where all the how all the candidates have all the signs all like in one place. Now she had big signs like in one place with the rest of the candidates, but as far as you being able to get a Jasmine Crockett sign and post it up in your yard, that happened the day before the election. You can't run a campaign that's important as the Senate without having a campaign manager. Okay, because if she would have had a campaign manager, the campaign manager would have pushed for everybody to do early voting, because we know in the South, you're going to have voter suppression on election day. Having 2 machines is not unusual for the South to do voter. That's one of the tactics that they use for voter suppression. So it was her job to get her voters out, just like when Obama was running. And Michelle, would tell everybody, make a plan to vote.
Let me ask you real quick.
And I know you guys heard that. She's always
do you guys have early voting in Texas?
We do. We have 2 weeks. Okay. We have 2 weeks of early voting. And that's why it's so important that you take advantage of early voting, because on the day of voting, it's going to be some suppression. When I voted for Obama, I had to go to 3 different precincts. And I couldn't vote at my normal precinct. And this was early voting. This wasn't even on the day of just was it the day of voting? It could have been the last day of voting. I'm not sure, because I was working at that time and I may have, missed the deadline. But normally I do early voting so that I don't have to endure any type of voter suppression, because that's what it's going to be in the South. They're going to try any and everything they can not to get you to vote. So in my opinion, Jasmine Crockett should have also informed the voters that you have to go to your precinct on the day of voting. And Joe, I don't know how they're doing it, where you located at, but I've been voting for a long time, and any time that you vote on the day of voting, it's always been that you had to go to your precinct that's assigned to you. Now, when you're doing early voting, you're absolutely correct. You can vote anywhere you want to, right? But on the day of voting, you have to go to your precinct. Now, will they change that precinct on you? And if they do that, I'm not sure. There's a possibility that they did that, because that's what happened to me with Obama. But that's the reason why you need to exercise early voting. Right now, Agent Orange is trying to get rid of mail-in voting, because that's another way of voting without a hassle. So I blame Jasmine Crockett for losing the race. I really do, because I don't feel like she dotted all the I's and crossed all the T's, because she didn't do the work that should have been done. And I don't think she had the money to have a big ground game, because when you're running for office, you have to have the ground game. And if you don't go knock on those doors and tell people why they should vote for you, a lot of times you're not going to get in office. So she had all those obstacles against her, right? And then she's a black woman, and she's black and she's a woman, and she's trying to flip Texas. So absolutely, the race is going to be harder for her than it ever would have been for Tallarico. Now, Tallarico was in the state house, and I hear you guys saying that a lot of people hadn't heard of him. Well, I heard of him because I watched the politics. And Tallarico is, he was a Republican, but he was one of those Republicans that tried to fight for the everyday person also. So I do have to give him his kudos on that. I don't feel like that he's going to throw us under the bus, but I still would have preferred Jasmine. Now, I also feel like the Democratic Party threw Jasmine under the bus. I really do, because the Democratic Party will try to sabotage their own candidates. I watched in Bear County, where you're SBK. What is this lady name? She used to be over the Democratic Party. She wear this hat, the nails, the jewelry. She's real loud. Is her name Frederica? I think her name. I think her name
something like that.
I think her name is Frederica or something like that. Now, I just watched her in Bear County saying that a couple of Democrats was breaking the law when it comes to Bear County, which is San Antonio area. They allowed people to wear what you call it? I don't want to say paraphernalia, because that sounds like drugs. But they allowed people to wear election attire that you're not supposed to wear. Like for instance, you're not supposed to. No one is supposed to wear a Jasmine Crockett hat or any type of merch to the election. Attire. Yeah. Correct. So they're getting dinged for that, and also they were trying to tell people who to vote. They was trying to influence the election. So she's down there trying to fight election fraud from some of the election workers from the Democratic Party. And so I do have my issues with the Democratic Party also, because you're right, Joe, or Boogie Down. I don't know which one of you guys said this. They can't control Jasmine. They know they can't control Jasmine, but they don't mind using Jasmine as a pit bull when they're trying to get a score or trying to get a win in Congress, because they already know she's going to bring it. But they also know that they can't tell her how to vote, because if they bring up something and she don't agree with it, she may or may not go with it. And so I feel like that's the reason why they didn't want her to win the race. Now, Tallarico, he used that good old boy method in the South, and he automatically knew how to win. He automatically know capitalism, conservatism, and Christianity is going to win in the South every time. And that's basically what he used. And he probably had a lot of special interest that was backing him up, even though he said he didn't take any money. But SBK just proved us wrong with that. And also, he probably had a lot of people. It seems like John Cornyn, if he win the race, some kind of way him Greg Abbott. It's like they got their voters that's going to vote for them regardless of what they do. And so they got a set of people that's going to put them in office, that has the money behind them, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, before I want to ask you this, because I was going to play a little snippet about and I'm not going to play it because, like I said, Roland Martin goes into detail. What you was talking about, Queen, was exactly what Roland Martin was talking about, because he broke it down in the sections of Texas and how she did not do her homework correctly. You know what I mean? That's how she lost. She didn't take certain demographics in certain areas of the state.
Right.
She didn't take it serious. He blames her team, for not advising her correctly. Tallarico was very well. His team was very well put together. So
he didn't leave nobody behind. And Jasmine was, and they asked Jasmine how she was going to expand her base, and she said she didn't need to expand the base as long as she can bring out new voters. She said new African American voters is basically what she was focused on, and she thought that the metropolitan cities was going to put her in, but I don't even know how she don't understand politics in Texas, because just because you get a lot of people in Dallas and Houston to vote for you doesn't necessarily mean you're going to win that race, because guess what? They loop a lot of people in one precinct, right?
Yep.
And your rural areas carry more weight than your metropolitan cities do, the way that they redistrict everything and the way that they tally up these numbers. And I'm not even a politician, and I know that.
And I want to say, SBK is funny. I saw that Roland Martin clip too. And the funny thing is, if you actually go back, he did the same thing when Hillary lost to Donald Trump. He said one of the things that she didn't do is she took for granted that she had certain areas on lock, and it didn't matter. One thing I gave him credit for, and it's very little in life I will ever credit that man for, but one thing I gave him credit for was that even though he was definitely not wanted, hell, they had to actually stop his rally in Chicago. He hit every city. And Hillary had certain cities where she felt like her votes were definite, so she never went and visited those cities. Obama went everywhere where he was not liked, where he was liked. West Virginia, very unpopular for him. He was there. He had boots on the ground. I think sometimes for us as women in politics, because again, we're playing a man's game, sometimes we just maybe get a little bit caught off guard, or maybe it just we underassume. And when you feel like you have certain areas on lock, you still, regardless, in my opinion, should still visit those areas and just make your presence known. Even if you don't spend a lot of time there, you still got to make your presence known with everyone, to everyone. You can't ever assume that because you appear to have polling numbers that support that they're going to come out for you, that certain things just don't matter. People act like, oh, it doesn't matter to me if you compliment me on a job well done, and then it'll be that same person who will be complaining that nobody appreciates me at work. But you just said it doesn't matter that I acknowledge that you did a good job. The mere fact that you did it was satisfying enough, and it just isn't. So I don't know if that plays, but I know Roland Martin, when I saw that, I thought about what he did with the Hillary aspect too. And I was just like, I have my reservations about him on certain things as well, but I will say, like, it's a factor that he points out that clearly it matters to people, and it does make a difference when, as being in these certain areas and her being, not only just a boisterous, very smart, intelligent Black woman. But, it's like we tell our kids sometimes, you getting 100 versus that white kid that got 100. At the end of the day, you have to work twice as hard. It's not fair. Right. It's not get right. 105. But you need that at least 101 to be the better person, even though y'all both got the same grades. Hell, you might have even had more credentials behind it. But if you got the same grade, the world is overall going to look at you differently and that's it and that's all. When we try to forget that and we don't keep that incorporated while we're out here fighting for our rights and fighting to have a seat at certain tables where we definitely know we're not wanted at the end of the day, but we still have a right to be there. We just gotta be, extra. We gotta go extra hard. We got
I'm telling you, she relied on social media because she goes viral a lot. And you can't just rely on social media because social media is just what it is. Social media.
Absolutely.
And you have to have that ground game. You have to. And a lot of people on social media don't even vote.
Right.
They just talk shit.
And they need to, they need to learn to go and vote, right? That's what we need to push. And as her supporters, we need to, because if you don't expect them to take AIPAC money, right? Mm-hmm. They don't have money, and Boots, her supporters need to support more, right? As we need to be able to support her more financially also, because those signs take money. And the thing with what I agree with you, I said what I said. See, here in Dallas, you had mentioned, and I'm talking about Irving particularly because that's where I went to go look. Most of her signs were these signs that were, man, huge signs. So they were, and I was telling SBK, like, look at this sign. This sign had to have cost over $250 for the one sign. Like, they cost money. So if she strategically went and paid smaller signs to spread them out more, and it's just a strategy, right?
Yeah, people would have been on board with that. And they would have been, oh, okay, she's winning.
Right. If they see that, right? Because it's a strategy, right? And one thing I have to say, because you mentioned about, yes, it's always been that, but here in the Dallas County, when you had districts, in the districts that were bigger districts, you were allowed to have different voting places because the district was bigger. So they gave you different options to be able to vote. If the district was a bigger district, you could go and vote at 2 different precincts. That was the whole thing. If in the Arlington area, because Arlington is very, very populated, and you were able, the district was a bigger district, you were able to go vote at this voting place and this one. See, you had different options to go and vote. They changed that, and
the Republicans changed it at the last minute.
Right, and that was the whole point. So I agree with 2 Cent. We've got to learn. We've got to push early voting. You got 2 weeks to early vote. You can go vote anywhere in your district as long as you're in that county. And, as long as you're in that county, you can go vote anywhere. And that is the whole thing. Like, I grew up.
Because the Republicans used to have mail-in voting on lock, Joe. Remember? They used to do the mail-in votes, and they would want those votes in way before, as soon as you got your ballot, send it in. That used to be their game. Now Agent Orange is downplaying that because he's saying it's fraud or what have you. So now he got all the Republicans voting on the day of the election, and that's one of the reasons why they've been losing a lot of elections, in my opinion.
I agree. But in order to flip, in order to push, in order to fight back, we have to push. We can't just go by, this is what they're doing, this is what they're doing. We have to go and speak to the people. This is what we need to go and vote. You need to go and vote because, and it, SBK, in the East, right? In East Texas, they won't go vote. My vote don't matter. My vote don't count. And they just won't go vote. In the districts where it's smaller, and they just won't go vote. And we need to go boots to the ground and yeah, I mean, if we're going to flip, if we're going to, because that's what happens. People, the folks won't vote, and so the red wins because they do go vote. That's the whole point.
And I live in a small town, and I was surprised. I
Did
really
they
was
go?
surprised that it was actually people. Normally, when I go vote and it's early voting, I walk in there and I walk out. It's nobody in there but me. And I was totally surprised that it was like 10 people. And to me, that was a lot of people because, like I said, I vote in every election, whether it's local, city, state, whatever it is. I'm voting. When it's time to vote,
Yeah,
I'm
me
voting,
too.
right? And so normally I'm in there and I'm out. And I was told, and that's what gave me a little hope. I'm like, well, maybe Jasmine will win because there really was a lot of Hispanics in there voting, which I was totally surprised about that. I've never seen that many Hispanics in there voting like that. So I thought she had a shot. I had no idea they were voting for Tallarico
Yeah, I
because
didn't either.
that's who helped put him
Well,
over the mark. Because Texas had 92% of black people voting for Jasmine, so it was the Hispanics that didn't put her in office.
Right. And do you
Once
think it's
again, huh?
do you think that I'm be honest, I'm just gonna be kind of frank. Do you think it's racism?
No, I think it's religion because a lot of Hispanic people are very religious. They're Catholics. They go to church, and Tallarico pushed that Christian nationalism to them. He pushed his faith to them, and there's a lot of Hispanic people that really believe in faith and. But Joe, you need to get your people together.
I know. I agree. I agree.
Damn.
Oh, I completely agree. And because that's who I was speaking to. It was that, and I was like, what? Who's that? I didn't even know who
Right,
that was.
right. They ain't learned that lesson the first time, Joe. You need to go talk to him, sis. Go talk to him, sis.
Man.
But I feel like religion. He pushed that religion, and let's just keep it real. Republicans know it's just like us. We know how to talk to each other, right?
Yep.
We know what we can say to each other and what we can't say to each other or whatever. But when we talk to someone else, we kind of got to walk on some eggshells and make sure that we're not saying the wrong thing. We got to make sure, that we're using the right language, and everybody know their own people. Let's just put it that way. And I'm not saying that Jasmine is not a Christian. I'm not saying that. But Tallarico knew exactly how to talk to people because, once again, he was a Republican that flipped to Democrat because he got mad at Greg Abbott about the school voucher mess. That was the whole reason why he flipped over to Democrats. They almost had a fight in the House about it. A physical fight.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. But what's the poll? What's the poll question? I can't see it on my end. What's the poll question? We're gonna.
You want me to go end it?
Yeah, and we can end it. So, but yeah, man, we're gonna get into just a little bit on this Epstein thing. I want to play something for y'all right quick, all right? And now look, I want to say this here. I'm gonna lay the groundwork. Now, if I'm not gonna let any divisive people up on my panel. I pay attention. I got a lot of friends in low places on these YouTube streets. And so if you're going to come up on the panel and be divisive, you know what I mean? And I'm not going to let you up. If you're going to come up on the panel, I can't see you, don't come up. I'm not going to let you up because I don't want to see you a little tallywhacker. I don't want to be porn bomb. I got a lot to lose on this thing here. You know what I mean? So I'm looking for people. If people are going to join the chat, you're going to have to talk with some sense. And if you're known to be somebody that is a troll and you're going around just being divisive, arguing and trying to cause conflict, this is not the channel for you. You know what I mean? Now, because I'm just not going to do that. All right. So it is what it is. But if you want to talk like an adult, now look, we can all disagree on things, agree to disagree on things. But if I know that you have been a troll all over the YouTube sectors, and you like to, go in spaces and cause division and just have some weirdo ass beliefs, I'm not letting you up here. So it's nothing personal, it's just I'm not gonna let you up here. You know what I'm saying? So I've had several people just message me or whatever about certain individuals that, you know, you guys want to come up here. I'm not going to let you up. You know what I mean? Because that's not what it's all about. This is all about learning. Now, we can agree to disagree. You can have opinions, but if you're up here or whatever, and you're trying to come up here and you're just trying to push an agenda, and you're known to be just be, you know, cause division and just want to argue, this is not the place for you to be. You know what I'm saying? But everybody's voice matters here. But this is not the time and the place, you know, to do that. All right. So, but anyways, let me play something for you guys. I want you guys' reaction, but the link is pinned. And if you know, I only want to talk and have converse back and forth with people who have some dialogue to where we can talk like adults and not be divisive. You know what I'm saying? If you're up here to try to, you know, to argue, you know what I mean? I ain't trying to hear all that. You know what I mean? So with that being said, let me play this, a couple of clips, ladies and gentlemen, and we're gonna do this one right here first. All right. Oh.
Last night, the Department of Justice released hundreds of thousands of documents related to the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. NBC's Ryan Nobles reports, and he explains what's included in those files.
Tonight, for the first time in public, the Justice Department posting hundreds of thousands of items online related to the DOJ's criminal investigations of the late sex offender, including photos that do not include context or prove any criminal activity. Here, former President Bill Clinton appears in a hot tub with someone whose face is redacted. In another, Clinton is seen next to Epstein, and Michael Jackson seen here with Epstein. Another shows Epstein, co-conspirator Ghislaine Maxwell, Mick Jagger, and Bill Clinton seated at a table. And this photo of Epstein with Richard Branson. The Justice Department and the FBI this summer said they, quote, did not uncover evidence that would warrant an investigation against uncharged third parties. The documents contain numerous redactions, including to protect victims' identities.
What is not fine is for him to engage in additional redactions without any explanation. And that's the question that we have.
No administration had ever released the documents until Congress voted nearly unanimously to order the DOJ to make them public.
We also want to know why the government failed in so many years. These crimes went on for decades, through 5 different presidential administrations before Epstein was finally put in jail.
All of it comes as new details have been published of Epstein's rise from private school teacher to financial advisor for the wealthy, described as a chronic liar who still gained the trust of powerful people. The New York Times reporting he lied on his resume and abused expense accounts, citing interviews with people in Epstein's past. And tonight, a top Democrat demanding the DOJ explain what's in and not in the files that were released.
So far, I have to say that the release has been disappointing from the initial read of it. But, you know, I reserve judgment until we go through all of the release.
Last night, the Department of Justice released hundreds of thousands of documents related to the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. NBC's Ryan Nobles reports, and he...
All right, ladies and gentlemen. All right, now look here. Here's what I want to say before we jump in this nonsense right here. The whole war thing that we got going on, and we're gonna play stuff about that in just a minute. But if y'all remember, ladies and gentlemen in the chat, this whole Epstein thing was all a Republican talking point. It was all a Republican talking point. Bring out the Epstein files. Bring out the Epstein files. Y'all remember that? It was all a talking point. So it was all a talking point. You know what I'm saying? And so my thing is, what has changed? You know what I'm saying? What has changed? Go ahead, y'all. Whoever, go ahead. What do y'all think about this whole thing? Now, look, before y'all speak. So the Clintons have spoken. I know I said what I said you was about to speak. The Clintons have spoken. All the Republicans have been talking a lot of shit about the Clintons. They have finally given their deposition. So there's, you know, so yeah, Marjorie Taylor Greene, when she was in Congress, that was one of her main things. You know what I'm saying? The Epstein files. Now she's gone. She's gone. She's gone. All right. So I don't understand why all of a sudden this was a Republican talking point. Now all of a sudden the Republicans have flipped. You only got a couple of them that's basically like, hey, bring them out. You know what I mean? You only have a couple of them, a handful of them. Now, I don't understand. You know what I'm saying? Trump has been mentioned millions of times, they say. Or almost a million times, if I'm not mistaken.
Every other word.
Yes. You know what I mean? So I don't get it. So y'all chime in. Go ahead.
Well, he's been mentioned as many times as he's untold lies, okay? So let that sink in as far as the Epstein files go. And the Republicans wanted the Epstein files because there was always a myth with this Pizzagate mess that's in the Epstein files.
Okay. The Pizzagate thing. I was told, I won't name the name, somebody told me about the Pizzagate files, and I'm like, man, that has been proven time and time again that that's some bullshit. That was some straight up bullshit. You know what I mean? They asked Hillary Clinton about it. Go ahead, Queen. Go ahead.
Well, it came up in the Epstein files and emails, but it was the other side. It was always projection. I believe Pizzagate actually existed because it's code words for trafficking, which is in the files also. And so the people that put that out, I believe that Epstein and Steve Bannon put it out just to smear Hillary Clinton's name. But in actuality, that was something that they were doing. In my opinion, everything that this administration does is projection. The whole time he was running, don't vote for Kamala. And all of y'all just calling her Kamala, her name is Kamala Harris. Everybody that don't vote for Kamala Harris, she's going to send your kids to war. Don't vote for Kamala Harris. She's going to raise your taxes. She's going to raise the gas prices. She's going to do this. She's going to do that. All of it was projection because the person that you did vote for is doing the exact same thing that they accused Kamala Harris of doing, right? And so they thought in these Epstein files, they thought it was going to be more Democrats in the files than it is the man that's running the country. They didn't realize that he was in the files. He didn't think that he was going to have to produce the files because he does nothing but lie. So he lied to his constituents and told them, yes, we're going to release the files. We're going to release the files. And now here we are in damn near World War III because of the files, because you don't want the information out. And look how long it took him to put it out. Look how much he's been fighting against getting the information out. And the whole entire time, it was really, I got to give it to him. He does great branding. Branding is everything for him. So he used that as a campaign promise and used it as branding to help him get elected in office. And then he wanted to change his mind once the files, once it was time for the files to be released. Well, he's doing everything he can not to get them released. And so they thought it was going to be very damning to the Dems. So that's the reason why they wanted these files out. So when the files got released, it's FAFO. Everybody had to F around and find out who's really in the files, who's really have damaging, who looks very damaged in the file, because you can put Clinton on there all day long, but Clinton's name is not mentioned in the files over 38,000 times, up to 1 million times. The number one name that's in the files other than Jeffrey Epstein is Donald Trump.
Well, when you ask somebody on the right about it, well, they always talk about Obama. Obama is not.
Yeah, Obama is not in the files.
He's not in the files. Now,
no.
I'm like, but anyways, go ahead, Queen.
And also, too, just because you were on the island doesn't necessarily mean that you actually did something. Because how many people that you know that you associate yourself with or that you're around and come to find out this ninja was a whole thief, he was a whole fraud, or she was this, or she was that. You don't know what people do behind closed doors. But in my opinion, a lot of those people was there for money and for business, because Epstein had everything. And when I say everything going on in that island, including cloning people, this dude was into everything. And so it's a possibility that some of those people was on that island just for business purposes, just for clout purposes, and a lot of them was on there because of blackmail purposes. And he made sure that he tried to touch every powerful person that he could touch just so that he can have leverage over them. And, you know, they were playing checkers and Epstein was playing chess, in my opinion.
So in your opinion, he had something on everybody.
Pretty much. Everybody that he wanted, everybody that had money and power and that did something wrong, because they said he had cameras strategically all around the island. There wasn't a place that you could go where you wasn't being filmed. And then look at all the accusers against Donald Trump. Over what, 30 people or 400 people, or I don't know. The numbers keep changing. The numbers keep changing, so I can't really pinpoint how many numbers of women that has accused him of doing something wrong, that accused him of AB when they were children.
Right.
And MAGA don't want to hear that. Oh, it hasn't been proven in a court of law. Well, but you believe Bill Clinton is guilty. You believe Congress believe Hillary and Bill is guilty. They had a whole hearing and interrogated them, but they never called Melania down. They never called Trump down. And Melania's in plenty of the pictures. A lot of the pictures, but MAGA don't want to talk about that.
But there's allegedly, they say
allegedly,
allegedly, they say how he got her is trafficking. Got her from where she's from. That's a part of, allegedly. I'm just saying. But to this, so now we full-fledged, they say Epstein has a lot of ties to what's going on now with Israel and with the war. All right.
Yes.
A lot of ties with all that. Let me show y'all something. All right. Y'all hit the like button. And let me show y'all something. Queen, I didn't want to play that Roland Martin thing. I just explained it. I had it queued up, but I just didn't want to. It was kind of lengthy.
Okay. Gotcha.
But let me show y'all something about this this war. Shout out to Stacey Abrams. Shout out.
Assault with impunity. And it was instigated by Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. I mean, he's told Fox News he's been trying to convince a U.S. president to undertake this attack for 40 years. And so I would love to have you help us unpack, number one, what are Israel's objectives? Because I think it's incredibly important that for as convoluted as America's objectives seem to be, Israel's are fairly clear. And I think it's important for us to understand what they intend.
So I'm glad you brought that up. Benjamin Netanyahu, the thing about Trump and Netanyahu, the only good thing about Trump and Netanyahu is that they say the quiet part out loud. They don't kind of hide what they're doing. It's very clear. It's not a conspiracy theory when they're saying it out loud. Netanyahu went on camera and said, for 40 years, I've yearned for this. I've dreamed for this war. And Trump's the only person who agreed to do it, which says a lot about Donald Trump. I'm not going to sugarcoat the records of previous American presidents, Republican or Democrat. Presidents have had horrific foreign policy records, whether it's Bill Clinton, whether it's George Bush Jr., whether it's Barack Obama, whether it's Joe Biden. And yet none of those presidents I just mentioned, Democrat or Republican, agreed with Netanyahu to attack Iran. Even George Bush and Dick Cheney did not attack Iran. And Donald Trump did. After, by the way, campaigning on saying he would not attack Middle East countries, on saying Kamala Harris will send your boys to a Middle East war. She's with Liz Cheney. She'll start World War III. And yet it was Trump who betrayed his own MAGA base, his own anti-war supporters, and started this war in the Middle East with Netanyahu. As you say, Trump's rationales are convoluted. He really wants a Venezuela option where he can just kick out the leader, keep the regime, and get lots of oil, and declare victory and go home. Netanyahu, on the other hand, and the right, have wanted to break and destroy Iran. For a while, it's the last remaining regional power that is against Israel, right? They've had a lot of luck and a lot of military success against Hezbollah in Lebanon, against Hamas, obviously. They've bombed the Houthis. Assad has gone from Syria. Iran's really the last part of what the Iranians call the axis of resistance against Israel. So for them, destroying Iran is a long cherished dream. And here's what's so important to understand. And what Iranians in the diaspora who supported this military conflict seem to be waking up to over the weekend. I saw a lot of Iranians, Stacey, who support this war, right, in the diaspora. And even they're now saying, well, hold on, Israel. Why are you bombing oil depots? We need those. That's civilian infrastructure. Please don't do that. And it's like you're now belatedly realizing that the Israelis are not your friends, that Israel does not have the interests of the Iranian people at heart. Israel's interest in Iran is breaking Iran. In fact, there are many people who would argue that the goal was always to instigate a civil war in Iran, to turn Iran into a failed state, a civil war, state collapse, because Israel benefits from being surrounded by Arab and Middle Eastern countries, in Iran's case, Persian country, where everyone's just fighting themselves and no one's stopping Israel. No one's doing anything to Israel. We know that people in Israel support the Greater Israel vision. Netanyahu's talked about a Greater Israel, expanding Israel's borders. Mike Huckabee told Tucker Carlson recently, the U.S. ambassador, yes, they can take whatever land they want, thanks to the Bible. So Israel needs Iran to be neutered, needs it to be broken. It doesn't matter the cost. And don't take my word for it. Danny Citrinowicz, who was in charge of the Iran desk at Israeli military intelligence, he now works for a think tank in Israel. He told the Financial Times a few days ago, he said, Israel doesn't care if there's a coup. Israel doesn't care if there's a democracy. Israel doesn't care if there's a civil war. Israel doesn't care about the future of the Iranian people. They have their own self-serving expansionist goals. So we need to be very clear about it. Anyone who thinks Benjamin Netanyahu cares about the fate of the Iranian people needs to have their head examined.
And I want to talk about timing, because Netanyahu said, and his lieutenants have said, that this is a 3-week window. But given the quagmire we've seen in Gaza, how likely is Israel's 3-week window? I mean, if the goal is collapse versus regime change, how do you gauge their timetable versus the American timetable?
So we know that thanks to Gaza, we know that they are, their own predictions don't work out so well. Although, again, you could argue from a cynical perspective, they've got what they wanted in Gaza. They've got a broken Gaza. They've got a Gaza that is uninhabitable and unlivable right now. They've got a Gaza where they're able to ethnically cleanse the population.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. I want to play something else. And ladies, now look, once again, I want to say this here. This is all about accountability. All right. If you voted, shout out to Miss Alice. She says, I think y'all know how I feel about 2 Corinthians and its cult followers. Shout out to my peer. Shout out to my peer. Look, here's my thing. All about accountability, ladies and gentlemen. And ladies, I got a couple more clips. And I got one more clip. 2 more clips I want to play, and we're going to talk about this. This is the last thing we want to talk about. It's all about accountability. I've talked about, look, one thing about me here on my show, I'm not afraid to talk about politics or talk about stuff that's trending or whatever, but a lot of people run from it. A lot of people don't know how to debate. A lot of people don't know how to convey their message. They say they're into politics. They say they, know about certain things, but when they get cornered and they don't know what they're talking about, then they revert to, you know how it is. Y'all see it on the political debate platforms. You know how it is. Steady grinding, one of my day ones. Salute to you, brother. Salute to you. One love to you, bro. That's one of my day ones. Steady grinding and Kevin Corpinen and Thrive and Glow with Joe were some of the ones that been around when I first started. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you. One love to you. One love to you. Accountability. So people start reverting if you follow politics or you talk about it with someone and they get so offended, they don't know what they're talking about, right? So they start reverting to being disrespectful or whatever. You know what I mean? Because they don't know what they're talking about, right? So I said about 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, if you vote for a certain person and things are not going the way that it seems, and your vote is goes haywire, then that's on you. I said what I said. I follow politics. Joe Rogan is one of those people. Joe Rogan now has flipped. So gas prices in California are horrible. Here in Texas, they're getting there. All right. Now this dude, Donald Trump, ran on the idea of not going to war. And I want to play a clip. All right. He ran on not going to war with Iran. He talked so much shit about Obama. Obama actually had the treaty with Iran. We'll get into that right now. All right. But now we are in a full-fledged war. And I want to say, like my brother Jimbo, I think he has I was talking to him. I think he has a niece that's over. If I'm not mistaken, Jimbo, if you're ghost watching, bro, I think he has a niece that's overseas. Somebody else, my boy Nan Ja Fanichi, his nephew is back from being deployed over there. So shout out to all of, if you have loved ones that are in the military that are over there, I pray for their safety, and I hope they're safe. I hope and pray that they're safe, and my prayers go out to them. You know what I'm saying? But I want to play y'all something, and I want you guys to listen to this. And these are from old dude's words. All right, these are his words.
Our president will start a war with Iran because he has absolutely no ability to negotiate. He's weak and he's ineffective. So the only way he figures that he's going to get reelected, and as sure as you're sitting there, is to start a war with Iran. Now, I'm more militant and more militaristic than the president. I believe in strength. But to start a war in order to get elected, and I believe that's going to happen, would be an outrage. This is a great time to negotiate. Unfortunately, we have a president that doesn't know the first thing about negotiation. We have a real problem in the White House. So I believe that he will attack Iran sometime prior to the election because he thinks that's the only way he can get elected. Isn't it pathetic?
Okay. I want to play something else, ladies and gentlemen. Those are what he ran on originally. All right, I want to play something else. I want you ladies on the panel, y'all can speak. I want to play something else. This is what he ran on, ladies and gentlemen. And so, where is, okay, is that it? I think. Nope, that's not it. You think that, oh, there it is. And here we go.
I was very proud to have knocked out the Iran nuclear deal by President Barack Hussein Obama. That was a horrible, horrible, dangerous document. They would have had nuclear weapons 3 years ago, and they would have used them. But I'll not let that happen. For almost 47 years, this regime has been attacking the United States and killing Americans. Every time you see someone with missing arms and legs or a face that's been absolutely shattered violently, it was almost certainly caused by an Iran roadside bomb. They were put there by General Soleimani, who was the father of the roadside bomb. Very proudly, he thought, but I terminated him in my first term. I was very proud to have.
All right. So the floor is, y'all can speak, ladies and gentlemen. Now, before y'all speak, anybody right now. Now, look, I've already said I call out Democrats, I call out Republicans, but if you're a Republican and you're complaining about gas prices, shut up. If you're a Democrat and you voted for Trump and you complaining about gas prices, shut up. This is what you asked for. Take accountability. Take account. It's all about accountability, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want to hear no complaining. I said this, and y'all know, and I said what I said. He had I debated somebody about this subject about a year or two ago, and now it's time to pay the price. Now I am one that will admit whenever I am wrong about something. I will admit whenever I am wrong. I will. I will say I apologize. But when the damage is done, a lot of people, they sit there, man, and they make all kinds of freaking excuses about why this and why that. But this is what you voted for. He talked a lot of trash about Obama, about him, starting a war with Iran to get reelected. We are in all-out war. Shout out to you, DJ Tanya. Texas in the house. Shout out to you, love. So the floor is yours, ladies. Go ahead.
Well, did I just say it was all projection? Did he just not prove my point? And his ass got away with Soleimani the first time in Iran, and they kind of let him slide on that. Okay, and I guess he thought that he could come back again and kill the Ayatollah. I guess he thought he was gonna just be able to get away with that. It was gonna be a quick little deal, like he kidnapped Maduro from Venezuela. This is how smart he is. He thought he was gonna be able to go over there and pull that same stunt that he pulled in Venezuela, and that this war was gonna be over with in what he say 2 weeks? First it was 5 days, then it turned into 2 weeks, and now it's until he feel like it in his gut. And so, he's just a liar. He sold the American public a bill of bullshit when he was on the campaign trail. He accused everybody. He accused Kamala of wanting to start a war with Iran. He accused Obama of wanting to start a war with Iran. It looked like, he's doing the same thing that he accused Obama of, because you can rest assured he's going to try to prolong this war until the midterms so that he could try to either stop the elections or try to put some troops at the election sites, and claim some type of immunity or some type of war is going on with the elections. So in my opinion, this war is for him to stop the elections, because when we in war, you can stop the elections, right? So I feel like this war is about these elections, and it's about Epstein, and it's the CIA to cover his butt. Is basically what's going on.
Well,
but he better watch out though, because I think he's done messed with the wrong people, and them people done already gave him several threats. They said they're gonna come back and get him.
So how important is it? Because did you guys see the about his son Barron buying a bunch of oil? Have you seen that?
Yeah, I saw that too. Yeah, he's buying, and all of his kids are enriching themselves.
Well, is that Barron or is that dad behind the strings of that?
No, that's Barron. Barron buying oil, and Don and Eric is buying Bitcoins. and Ivanka and Jared is over here trying to colonize Gaza. They over there trying to get golf courses and they over there scoping out land in the Middle East. And I really feel like that's another reason why they want this war, because they want to they think they're going to decimate Iran like they decimated Gaza, so that they can turn it into resorts. But they're gonna get the FAFO is what's gonna happen.
So let me ask you something, ladies. I said what
allegedly, and in my opinion,
allegedly. So let me ask y'all something. What do you think the end result will be in all this mess? What do you think?
Well, I think they're gonna come get him.
Come get him from America?
I think Iran is gonna come get him, and I'm waiting on that day. I'm actually gonna take a shot, and I don't even drink like that. I don't even take shots, but I'll be taking a shot that day when they come pick him up.
It's now look. I want y'all to look at this right here. No, I don't want that one. I want y'all to look at this ish right here, okay?
Okay, it's became one more thing too. He is on the list. Him and Netanyahu, they're both on the list with the UN for war crimes. So they wanted people that at this point, the both of them are wanted. Okay. with the world.
With the world, right?
With the world you in, yeah. They looking for him. Okay, so somebody gonna get him. I don't know who, but I can't wait.
Okay. All right. Can y'all see that? Y'all see that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think it's important for your viewers, Jesse, and the American people to know that there's never in history been a more total asymmetric one-sided annihilation of the enemy than you are witnessing that is unfolding right now in Iran. The United States, under President Trump's leadership, has annihilated their Navy, has annihilated their missile capabilities, has dealt devastating strikes to the IRGC and their command structure, has taken out, in collaboration and coordination with Israel, their nation's sinister leadership and command structure.
Fantastic. Then let's come home. Let's go. I mean, Stephen Miller just told us we've annihilated everything in Iran. So why are we still there? Let's go home.
Facts. Let's go home.
Well, he said that in June, though. He said, remember he said he bombed Iran and he got rid of all their missiles. Do you guys not remember that?
Yep.
He said that last summer that he decimated them.
I'll be right back. Y'all take over. I'll be right back.
But yeah, he said he got rid of all the nuclear weapons, and he obliterated everything. So I don't understand why we got to have this war if he took care of it last summer. Now he's saying that the Hamas River canal is open, and Iran said nobody is going through that they don't want to go. Everybody's welcome except for America and our allies. So he's lying. Him and Stephen Miller, the whole administration, they're liars. They don't want to tell the truth, and I really think he's shaking in his boots. Personally, I really think he's scared, and I think he's shaking in his boots because when them people gave him that threat, and that's one thing a bully will go around and bully everybody, but when the shoe is on his foot, then it's a different story.
Yep.
They can bully you every day, all day long, but when somebody make a threat towards them, then they're shaking in their boots, and that's basically what he's trying to do. And really, Iran said they're gonna put some more Epstein files out. So, Iran said they got some good Epstein files and videos we need to see. So we waiting. I'm just sitting here waiting. I'm gonna get my popcorn.
How do they have them?
I'm going through all of the files. Huh?
Yeah. How do they have them? I saw what I said.
Well, they got intelligence. They got hackers. They got intelligence, Joe.
Oh, okay. I was like,
everybody got it. Where do you think we get hackers from? Americans ain't smart. No, I'm just saying. But I'm sure, listen, it's an underground for it. If money talks, BS walk. You can get whatever you want. Okay. And keep in mind, the Epstein estate has those files also. So whether Donald Trump showed these files today or when he leave office, these files will be coming out one way or the other because Congress actually have access to the files. The House has the files, but they can't put them out because they have to go by the laws and the bylaws.
So, what do y'all think about this right here? I want to show y'all something. It's a song, but I want y'all to. Let me see if I can find it. It's right here. Hold on. What do y'all think about this right here?
Motherfuckers, they need to be drafted first in the motherfucking war, in the bullshit war, in the Epstein war, in Dookie Donnie's war. MAGA motherfuckers, they need to be drafted first. MAGA motherfuckers, they need to be drafted first in the motherfucking war. In the bullshit war, in Dookie Donnie's war, in the Epstein war. MAGA motherfuckers, they need to be drafted first. MAGA motherfuckers. MAGA motherfuckers, they need to be drafted first in the motherfucking war. In the bullshit war, in the Epstein war, in Dookie Donnie's war. drive to the first.
All right.
Oh God, that's so
we
stupid.
listen to?
That's Eric
Where can
Benet.
I get? Where can I get a copy?
So
Where
basically,
can I purchase my copy? I want a copy. Shit.
shout out to
Y'all
Eric
are so
Benet.
silly.
Shout out to Eric Benet. But look, my boy says their prime minister said the Strait of Hormuz is not open for U.S., Israel, and their allies.
Correct.
Yeah, that was jamming. That was jamming, man. Shout out. That was Eric Benet, man. That was Eric Benet. Yeah, that's Eric Benet, boy. Eric Benet. Eric Benet was jamming. He was jamming. But look, I don't have no love. I don't have no love for anybody that's sitting there talking all this ish about what's going on with the economy and what's going on right now. And we're spending billions of dollars or whatever, billions of dollars on a war and we got problems over here. So don't talk shit. Take accountability, shut the fuck up when it comes to politics, and mind your business.
I was ducking. Hey,
all
dog,
of
listen, we in the water. Don't be doing that kind of shit. I'm ducking and dodging. Like, what the hell?
But look, y'all.
You know everybody on the edge.
But look, I don't have respect for people who can't take accountability. People who can't take accountability, who I don't care who it is. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. People who can't take accountability.
You suck.
That's what that is. It is what that is. You know what I mean? You can't take accountability for your actions.
Do they see the error of their ways? That's the whole thing.
I think
they're not going to take accountability when they still are blinded by their money or still waiting for their money to be paid off.
Oh, they're in a cult. Oh, they're in a cult because some of them ain't got no money. Let's keep it real. Some of these MAGA people don't have a quarter, okay? And they still standing up for their country. Now when it's gonna hit, when it hit home, I guess maybe, I don't know. Because I just watched this podcast, The Necessary Truth, and the father told
I watched them too.
The father told Haley today, you can send your kid and the mama. They said, yeah, if he have a draft, go ahead and send your kids over there because it's patriotic. So you know, some people just in a damn cult. They can't wake up, and they gonna just ride it until they're not here, I guess. You know, until the wheels fall off, because they don't want. It's not so much of being accountable. They just, you know, they want to be right, and they think they're sticking it to the libs when really you're sticking it to the whole country. And in my mind, I'm gonna need Barron to go. I'm gonna need Melania to go over there. Eric and Don Jr. and Vanka, send all the grandkids. And seeing January 6th people over there. Seeing all of MAGA over there.
Now, wait a minute. You said Melania, but you know, he often
send her over there too. Send her over there
I'm saying he often leaves out enough. You didn't say Tip. Remember, he's got the bastard. I'm sorry.
Well, Tiffany don't roll with him like that.
No matter. It's one of his. It's one of his.
Well, Tiffany don't roll like that. But
it's my point. Send yours.
But send Caitlin over there, the one that's doing propaganda at the White House. Send the little grandbaby, send her on over there too, and send all the MAGA voters over there. Send all of them over there for the war, since this is what they want to sign up for, in my opinion.
I think that song needs to be played again.
Yes, black women are the smartest, Adams. Remember that. Thank you for acknowledging it. Give them a clap song for that, SBK.
You want to clap? They want to clap song
Yeah,
for that?
clap for that. Yeah, because somebody finally got it. They woke. Clap. Yeah.
I'm waiting.
And just Thank you, SBK. And just before we boot your ignorant ass out, Adams, how about you try raising your damn kids? Because black women have raised every nationality of kids, jackass.
And SBK, send Mary Lou and Bob over there also, since they so down for the cause.
And there's a reason why her name is I Said What I Said.
Maybe you don't know what God is pleased with me or not. It's not for you to judge, honey.
Don't you waste your time and breath, y'all. They trolls. Y'all know how these trolls are. Let them troll. They enjoying the content. That's why they over here. So let them. We got freedom.
Right. Yes, I appreciate the views. That's what I was just writing.
Yeah. So hey, we take it all. Okay, just like Trump take all the money, hell, we'll take it all. Okay.
But like I said, here it is.
Motherfuckers, they need to be in the motherfucking war, in the bullshit war, in the Epstein war, in the Yuki Donnie war. MAGA motherfuckers, they need to be drafted first. MAGA motherfuckers, they need to be drafted first in the motherfucking war. In the bullshit war, in Boogie Dollie's war, in the Epstein war. MAGA motherfuckers, they need to be drafted first. MAGA motherfuckers.
Love that song, and it's got a nice beat.
Okay.
That's how we blacks do everything, Bottom of the barrel.
Got money for work, but can't feed the poor. What is that?
Eric Benet been very vocal. Eric Benet is very pissed off about this.
Very.
Yeah, he's been very vocal on social media.
Very.
Classic line. Got money for wars, but can't feed the poor. We in somebody else's damn house, and our own house ain't clean. How about that?
Right. We don't spend. We don't spend about $25 billion because it's costing us $1 billion a day.
Exactly.
For this war.
And we just got how many people out of jobs? Forget. Let me not just make it us black women, us 350,000 black women. How many Americans are out of jobs? Black, white, man, woman. And we worrying about
last month we were negative 92,000 jobs. Negative 92,000. We didn't grow the economy. We downgraded the economy last month.
Oh, okay. But we worrying about some other damn country and their policies for an imaginary blocking them from nuking us. Well, we don't need them to nuke us. We're nuking our damn selves because our kids are starving. Our parents are starving. Parents got to move back home with their damn kids and grandkids because people can't even afford to live in their damn homes. People who have gotten their butts out here, fought for this country, by the way, as well as raised other people's kids and their own. And they can't even afford to go to the damn grocery store, or like SBK just shouted out for those in California, $8 for gas. So they can't even afford to go to the job that they ain't making enough money at. And we worried about what? No, to hell with Trump. How about that? And all you Trump supporters, how about that?
Well, at the end of the day, we're fighting an endless, crazy war these people have been fighting since the day of time about religion. So why would the super extra smart president get in this war? You heard what the newscaster said a while ago. Obama was smart enough not to get in it. Biden was smart enough. Hell, even George Bush had enough sense not to get into the Iran war. Now, he did go to Iraq. he did get into that, but he had his own agenda because he wanted some oil. And I guess Trump think he gonna get some oil too, but it ain't happening. But at the end of the day, everything that Trump does is to fill up his own pockets and to fill up the rich billionaires' pockets. The whole thing about it is they want everybody to be fighting against each other, because if you're fighting each other, you're not paying attention to what they're doing, which is robbing you blind with your eyes wide open.
Eyes wide open. And I'm telling y'all, there is a reason why she is called I Said What I Said. There's a reason, y'all. There's a reason. All right, man. We done gone 2 hours, man. Miss Boogie Down, beautiful lady, beautiful black queen, beautiful black women.
Beautiful black, double educated. Throw that in there, because I see I got some fans in there, and yeah. my two college graduate masters having degree from my oldest 2 black sons. Yes, sir. I'm sorry. You were saying.
I got the women of color, beautiful women of color
with
on
degrees, because I do have a business degree also. Okay. And my daughter do have her own business. So
look at that.
But we're the scum of the earth, and we're the bottom of the of everybody's shoe, and we're just taking from the poor system. All these black people just taking all the money, and all the Hispanics are taking all the health care, and all the immigrants is just taking all of your jobs that you never signed up for. But that's okay though, because guess what? You're getting rid of the immigrants, so now y'all can go to those orange fields that they was in. Y'all can go help build some houses now, because it should be plenty of jobs for everybody to go around, since we rounding up immigrants and putting them in damn concentration camps. And you need to talk about that next time, SBK, because I thought you was going to deport everybody, but now you detaining. Instead of deporting, you're detaining. And what the hell are you building all these encampment concentration camps for?
Costing us more money.
We can have it ain't gonna cost you nothing. What it's gonna do is, how they privatize the prisons so that they can make money off of the black and the brown people in prison. So now they're gonna have concentration camps, so the billionaires can make money off of the concentration camps and treat people real inhumane. But that's a story for another time. So I said what the hell I said. And so you guys have a great night. I know you're fixing to go. I'm real mad at this point.
She is busting caps. She is busting caps.
I really want to bust some for real. But anyway, it's been great. I enjoyed the show. And I'm going to go ahead and cool my blood pressure down, child. And y'all have a great night.
All right, love. We love you. I said what I said. Miss Boogie Down, what's your last words there, beautiful? What you got?
I salute you, non-imprisoned black man, as well, for raising, I know, what is going to be an up-and-coming queen, but at the princess stage that she is right now, as well as myself, having raised 2 young princes that are turning into be great kings of our people. And at the end of the day, I thank you for always just being not only level-headed, but open-minded. Because see, the sad part is, even though we had several jackasses in the chat, just know that the Christian in me and the real one in me and the educated woman that I am, homeowner, by the way, of my own volition, will still keep them in prayer. And as always, King, you are in my prayers. I thank you for your panel. I always thank you for your presence and your outlook and your fairness. Be well. And Joe, as always, beautiful. You got me getting that merch, because I'm going to shake them things. Want my things to shake too, because I got to end it on the way we always started up in here, whether I'm in the bushes or whether I get a opportunity to be on your panel. I'm going to keep smiling, because that's what you do, SBK. You keep us smiling, you keep us informed, and God bless you, sir. Have a good one.
One love to you, sweetheart. One love to you. Have a good night. I thank you for coming up on the panel. Thank you. I appreciate you. All right, Bessie, there's another one in the books there, love.
Yes, and I want to shout out my young. Can I shout out, since they were talking about their young black kings?
Yes, you can.
I want to shout out mine. You know, I've raised a young black king as well, and he is actually 18 today, and he's graduating with his high school diploma, and he's also graduating with his associate's degree. And I am a single mother who has raised him, and I hope I've done him justice, as you know I have, because he is doing that. And I'm just so proud of him. And since y'all were shouting out your young black kings, I am shouting out mine also. And I'm just so proud of him. And today I've just had a lot of emotions because he's 18 today. And I'm just so proud of him, y'all. So we're doing that. We are doing that. Am I correct?
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Trying to get you back up on the stage.
There you are.
I also want to say thank you, Miss Boogie Down. Thank you, Queen. I appreciate you. Thank you.
And he has also already accepted. He's going for electrical engineering to the University of Texas at Arlington. So that too. Thank you for being here, Derek. He's there.
I also want to, Derek. I also want to say, happy birthday to my bonus son. I love you, son. You know what time it is. I will always be here for you. And this is your day. Don't let your mother bully you ever again when she gets you a cake. You take that cake to the house because that is yours. You know what I'm saying? And I love you. And there's nothing you can do about it. Shout out to my bonus son. Shout out to him. Shout out to him. Shout out to him. And many, 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 many more. Many more. Many more. Many more. Yes. You got anything else? I know you shouting out the you got anything else you want to say before we end this thing?
Thank you so much for everyone coming up. I did send you, if you go look at the results of that, I closed the polls.
Pause. So, do outspoken political styles help or hurt candidates? 50% of you guys said it depends. 32% of you guys said help, and 18% of you guys said hurt. And that was, I think, that was on the vertical, and on the horizontal, I believe 49% of you said depends, 27% said help, 24% said hurt. And look here, this is a great live. Hey, Love Serious, how you doing, sweetheart? Thank you for coming through. Look, man, this has been a great live. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Great turnout. Shout out to you guys.
We don't always have to agree. We can agree to disagree. But I love the input. You don't have to agree, But if you want to come up, we just ask that you show your face. It had nothing to do with anything else.
But but if you have a history of being divisive, I'm not gonna let you up. You know what I mean? But you have to show your face. One of you guys was trying to come up, and you said you showed your face, and you didn't. So you can't lie to me like that. You know, but if you have a history of being divisive, I'm not gonna do that. You know what I mean? That's not what we're all about. So. Great live. Your voice belongs here, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank each and every one of you. Thank you for everyone that donated to me. Sirius has been a member for 9 months. Thank you, Sirius. I appreciate you. You're another day one. I got a lot of people that really believed in me, that have been day ones. Look at that. You know what I mean? I am very, very grateful for those of you who have followed me since the inception of my channel, all of my members, all of the subscribers, my moderators. Thank you guys for being on deck. All you haters, you know what I mean? All the trolls that have been here tonight. You know, it got up to like 60 people on this thing. Did you see that, Joe? Got up to 60 people. So, man, look. I said what I said is always going to give me a hard time. But look, I appreciate you guys, man. It is an exciting time to be a member of the SBK Media channel, because I'm going to start putting out content, especially for members. I'm doing content not only for my subscribers, but the members are the driving force. Thank you. I appreciate you. Y'all keep pushing me to be better. Y'all look in my link description. You can email me. You can contact me. Let me know if you have some show ideas. I want to interview a lot of you guys. I know some of you guys have been reaching out and say, hey, I need to email you about some things. Email me. You know what I mean? It's in my description. Let me know what you want to talk about. If you have some show ideas, let me know. I am here. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if you're a troll, you know what I mean? If you're a troll, you're giving me that view. Mr. Howell, you've been trolling me all night. You've been trolling all night. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. You know what I mean? So, but I appreciate you. I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, man, look here. Until next time, you know what I mean? Your voice belongs here in this conversation. Oh,
thank you.
Thank you, Howard. I appreciate you. I appreciate the $5 donation. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
No harm, no foul. You know, no harm, no foul. Let them hate. It means that you are on the right path. I appreciate you, Derek. I appreciate you. You've been spitting game all night long. I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody that's supporting. And man, we got 41 people between two platforms, the portrait and the landscape. And I appreciate you. I appreciate you. All righty. All right. Well, y'all like, share, subscribe. Hey, before I end this thing, hit the like button. I want you guys to comment in the comment section. Let me know what you thought about the content. I don't care if you're a left wing, right wing. You can come up on the panel. You can explain, but I'm not gonna let you on if you have a reputation of being a jerk. I'm not gonna let you on the panel. You know what I mean? Because my people care about me. I got some people that's hit me up. They let me know about, But if you want to join the panel, you know what I'm saying? Join it. You know what I mean? As long as you cam up in the backstage, that's fine. But I need each and every one of you. If you're catching the replay, make a comment. Leave your comments in the comment section. Your voice belongs in this conversation. And with that being said, your boy SBK is.
Congratulations, SBK, for 1 amazing year of YouTube monetization.
Being a content creator that's monetized, I promised myself a long time ago that I wasn't going to be a fat cat. What I mean, taking in all the money and all that type of stuff and not giving back to my supporters, not giving back to my moderators, not giving back to the people that have made my platform. Y'all, without y'all, I wouldn't have a platform. You know what I'm saying? So I like to give back. You know what I mean? So I like to give back every time I go live. So whether it's with merchandise and all of my moderators and all of my my moderators and my members, I like to gift you guys, like to spoil you guys, let you know I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I left all
great
stuff.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Shay. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for that super chat. Thank you, Denise. Sent a gift. Thank you so much, Denise.
I appreciate every last one of y'all, man, that have followed me and followed us. Whether it's tap in or here, I appreciate y'all. And all of that, your support is greatly appreciated, and it's not taken for granted. You know what I mean? I like to pay y'all respect, and I like to pay y'all back, and that's what's going to be done. All right, so become a member, like, share, subscribe.
Again, I want to thank Tricia for the super chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I want to thank all of my members. All of my members and all of my subscribers, man. I thank all of y'all.
Thank you, Shanice, for the $5 super chat. I appreciate Jimbo. Thank you for the super chat, bro. You know what time it is. One love to you, bro. That's my fam, like, right there. Shout out to Brilliance that's trying to start something here with the $1.99.
With that being said, I want you guys to understand that I appreciate every one of you guys, your support of me. In 2026, I want to grow. I want to build. I want more subscribers. I want more viewership. You guys have supported me through this journey. You know what I mean? I'm thankful. I really am. I want you guys to understand that the members are the ones that are the driving force.
I appreciate all the love. Y'all stay. Thank you to the gifted memberships. Thank you so much for the gifted memberships. Drive the Glow with Joe. And there's one.
I want you guys to be a part of something. Be a part of the SBK Media channel.
Shout out to Big Sis for the $2 super chat. And again, I want to thank Lisa for that $1.99 donation. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Just Jay has been a member for 4 months. Just Jay, Kevin Corponin, one of my day ones. And I appreciate my day ones whenever I first started here on YouTube. And I appreciate y'all. I appreciate you being a member, Just Jay, for 4 months. And I appreciate you. Thank you, love. You know what? Shout out to Thrive and Glow with Joe with the $2 super chat. I want to say thank you, Santa, for the super chat. Thank you so much for the super chat. Thank Green for Whiskey for the super chat. For the gifted membership. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I appreciate every last one of you guys coming through, man. Y'all showed up and showed out. I appreciate y'all, man. And I appreciate everything, donations, super chat. Here on YouTube, I appreciate all the folks that I've met on here, and I've bonded with y'all, all my supporters. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I really do, from the bottom of my heart. A lot of content creators, they take money and they just like to take, right? And I'm not that type of person, you know what I mean? And I want y'all to know that. I feel y'all's respect, and I feel y'all's love, and I feel y'all's, I feel y'all, you know what I mean? And so I appreciate you. All the ones that have supported me and encouraged me, I appreciate it. I want to thank all of my moderators. I want to thank all of my members, any donators. I appreciate y'all. My family and friends, I appreciate you guys supporting me on this journey here on YouTube. I couldn't have done it without y'all. So special shout out to Thrive and Glow with Joe, and It's Just ETV for helping me navigate on here on YouTube. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all too.